So there's this woman named Allie. She's a trauma nurse. 16-hour shifts, mass shootings, abuse victims, people dying on her table. She sees the worst of humanity every single day. And by the time she gets home, she is done. The way she copes? She opens her phone and watches one guy on social media. He calls himself the Faceless Man. Shirtless, tattooed, holding a knife, wearing a custom mask that is somehow both terrifying and the hottest thing she has ever seen in her life. Allie has left comments on this man's videos that I cannot repeat in polite company. She has saved every single video. She has Googled how to find someone from their tattoos. And then one night, she comes home and finds his mask sitting on her bed. She grabs her gun, clears every room. Nobody's there, but the mask is real. She'd recognize it anywhere. The Faceless Man broke into her house. She should call the police. She does not call the police. Instead, she DMs him. He responds, which he never does for anyone, and all he says is, "What would you say if I said yes?" And that is how this entire disaster begins. They start texting through the app. He's cryptic, she's furious and turned on simultaneously. He sends her an entire flower shop's worth of roses as an apology. She has to tip the delivery guy $50 to take them away. He sends her back the $50 instantly. She loses her mind. Then more deliveries arrive. Titanium door bars, extra locks, motion sensors, and a hidden camera detector. He broke into her house and then sent her tools to stop him from breaking in again. She installs everything, uses the camera detector, finds a tiny hidden camera disguised as a phone charger in her bedroom. She stares straight into it and says, "I am going to find you, and we'll see how much you like it when you come home to someone waiting for you in the dark." She means every word. So she starts thinking, how does someone find a hacker? She remembers that Tyler, a guy she used to hook up with, mentioned his roommate was some kind of computer genius. She calls Tyler. He says his roommate Josh will help for free. She goes over. Josh opens the door, and Allie's brain does something weird. He's tall, tattooed, and something about him just bothers her. Not in a bad way, in a way she can't explain. She shakes it off. Josh pulls up some impressive-looking program and tells her it'll take time to trace the Faceless Man. They end up talking for an hour. He makes her coffee, they play Would You Rather, she makes him choke on his drink twice. She quietly slips a tracking device into her bag on the way out. That night, she watches the tracker move around the city in a very specific pattern. She leans into her screen, squints. He's driving in the shape of letters. L-O-L. She screams. Her gut was right. It's Josh. It has to be. And then her lab tech friend calls. She'd been running a DNA test on the bloody bandages from the night she stitched up the Faceless Man's hand, and the results match Josh's DNA from the hair she'd lifted off his sweatshirt when she visited the apartment. Josh, Tyler's roommate, the man who made her coffee and played Would You Rather, the cybersecurity hacker who was supposed to be helping her find the Faceless Man. He is the Faceless Man. She confronts him through the hidden camera still in her room. She looks straight into the lens and says, "I know it's you, Josh. Later, boo." And she rips it off the wall. But she doesn't run, because she thinks about everything. The snacks he packed for her in the car, the shoveled driveway, the way he named her cat his son. Her gut has never once told her she was in danger from him. And Allie's gut has kept her alive through years of working in a trauma center. She decides to trust it. Around this time, something else is brewing. Tyler sits her down and explains something she didn't know. Josh's father wasn't just a bad man. He was a convicted serial killer. Josh looks exactly like him, which is why he never leaves the apartment, why he wears a mask online, why he spent his whole life hiding. A corrupt psychologist convinced young Josh he was genetically destined to become a monster. He was put on medication for years he never needed. He has spent his entire life terrified of himself. Allie thinks about that, and when Josh finally walks through her front door, she doesn't demand an explanation. She walks straight into his arms. They talk. He comes clean about everything, the break-in, the cameras, watching her at the hospital, all of it. She already knew most of it. She's not okay with all of it, but she understands him in a way nobody else ever has. He starts staying over. He cooks her eggs, even though he's vegan. He holds her while she cries about her mom, who died in a car accident when Allie was 16. Allie was driving. She spent her whole career trying to save everyone else to make up for the one person she couldn't save. Josh is the first person to look her in the eyes and say, "It was not your fault." And then Brad shows up. Brad Bloom. Old money, connected family. He comes into Allie's ER beaten up by the brother of a woman he allegedly drugged and raped, and walked free because his family's lawyers threatened to sue the hospital. Now he's back, sitting in her bay, smirking. He taunts her the whole visit, calls his victim a low-quality woman, says she should have been grateful, tries to grab Allie. She gets right in his face and calls him a coward. He screams for help and plays the victim. She nearly gets written up by HR. He walks out. That should have been the end of it. It is not. That night, Josh and Allie are asleep together at her house when Josh's custom alarm goes off. Someone is at the back door. Josh goes out alone. Brad walks in masked, carrying a backpack full of zip ties, rope, chloroform, and trash bags. A kill kit. Josh cold-cocks him before he even gets through the door. They find everything in the bag. Brad came back specifically for Allie. They tie him up with his own rope. Their plan is to drop him at the farm of his latest victim's family and let them handle it. But somewhere on that dark drive, Josh duct tapes Brad's mouth and accidentally covers his nose, too. Brad is dead before they reach the farm. Josh pulls over and gets sick in the bushes. Allie is honestly fine about it. She says his death was too anticlimactic, and she would have preferred fire involved, which tells you everything about where these two are at. They call Allie's estranged uncle Nico, who, it turns out, is a mob cleaner. The next 24 hours are absolute chaos. The body disappears, Brad's car gets chopped into parts, evidence gets staged to make it look like he fled to Canada. Meanwhile, Josh breaks into Brad's house one last time to wipe any digital trace of Allie from his computer. And, before leaving, he triggers the burglar alarm on purpose. That gives the cops legal grounds to enter without a warrant. They get inside, they find 2 decomposed bodies in the basement. Brad had been doing this for years. His family cooperates with the investigation. The cops think he ran. Nobody is looking for a body. Josh and Allie make it out clean. She agrees to be his girlfriend. He says, "The couple who slays together stays together." She cannot argue with that.